Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderheads, and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we have ourselves some tracks off of an album called Nyctophilia by an act named Homicide Doll. Homicide Doll? Homicide Doll. Yeah, if we switch over to here, we've got your Nyctophilia with the raised blade on the cover. We've got this was released in 2022. I have listened to Homicide Doll before. I'm keen to hear more of what they've been up to. We've got 3 tracks: Static Water, My Soul Couldn't Get Me Anything Good, So I Settled With Antidepressants, and I Hope You Fucking Burn in Hell for the Shit You Did. So this should be a fairly spicy review, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's all fair, man. It's all fair in love and war and all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to listen through these 3 tracks from start to finish, hear what we think. Let's go. Oh, I'm liking those mysterious atmospheric synths there. And those drums have a nice resonance and presence in the mix. Those trap hi-hats there with the punchy kick, good. There's an airiness to the synth, actually, that background one with the vocal chops. I'm liking the combination of elements we have so far.
Let me die, I'm the serpent in the garden, I can't lie no more. Got the bodies on the floor, got my halo around the horns. I don't know, what am I supposed to be? A demon with these angel wings, come and cut these goddamn things. I don't wanna be.
Again, I really like those backing vocals, the growliness to it. I dig that edginess with the hip hop. It's a nice combination, you know? If you're gonna go hard not only with the story, but also with your delivery of it.
God, when it's time to face bitches hitting me, when they complain I don't agree, doing jokes they don't know me. Never suicide is the key to all my problems. I don't wanna feel a thing, motherfucker can kill me.
This is some heavy shit, man. Talking about suicide and all that kind of stuff, dude. There is no, hey, we'll gently introduce you to this. It smacks you in the face with the reality of the situation. Nice filtering here. It's a nice change from what we had in the previous section. Who can stop me from blowing my brains out? Damn, dude. Damn, man. That's some heavy shit. That is some grim listening. It's not something I hear a lot in the kind of hip hop and rap I listen to nowadays. It's a nice when I say nice, I don't mean that I'm glad that people are feeling this way and that they're making music about it. But what I mean is, like, it's nice to have a different angle to the story of it is what I mean, you know? I'm glad that they're talking about it as opposed to holding this shit inside, you know?
Now I'm 6 with no fucking dad. But these issues that I had, hearing voices with the mess. And they tell me that I'm gonna die, but motherfuckers thought I lied. So I didn't get that goddamn judge to drown the voices out. Bitch, I'm 18, giving into doubt with my razor out. How come I can never get some help?
You know, I grew up with the emo music in the mid 2000s. You know, like a lot of those Paramore, you know, like Panic at the Disco, that kind of stuff, and a lot of the other like emo acts from there that talked about this stuff. And it's interesting how it's gone from the hip hop, which was the stories were contrasting to that emo rock from back then. Now we've got those elements within the hip hop of nowadays. It's interesting to see a transition between genres. It shows that it's not just something that like people who are into rock deal with. You know, musicians of all backgrounds deal with these kind of thoughts. Brutal to hear that they're dealing with this at the age of 18. Static Water. It was really well mixed. I enjoyed the coloration of those really subtle synth pads in the background, and I think that it was interesting enough that it carried through the 2 minutes 10 really well. The drums were punchy and there was enough change in them to keep it interesting, and the different vocal deliveries between those filtered parts in the middle and those cleaner parts on either side with those growly backing vocals as well for reinforcement. It's really well done. That is a solid track. I'm sorry. I'm sad to hear that Homicide Doll is going through this. You know, we got track 2. My soul couldn't give me anything good, so I settled with antidepressants. Again, huge reverb tails on these water drops. Very similar textures and tones to what we had with Static Water, actually. Nicely EQ'd hi-hats there, actually. Kind of reminds me of some drill beats I've listened to.
Judgment on these bitches and they coming from the trenches. Nobody fucking kill me, I'm just starting this new mission. Making music so these people know that I'm existing. Dropping every month but no one really fucking listens. Pour my heart out.
Oh, brother, yeah. Ain't that the thing, eh? When you put music out, I'm not saying this is necessarily Homicide Doll, even though they're saying that they're dropping stuff every month. They're saying that nobody listens. Like, there's a lot of musicians out there just because of how much music is being released. And they just that's why marketing is always so important, and that's, you know, but also it's just there's a lot of music that is criminally underrated or not listened to just because there's just so much of it, you know. But it doesn't mean you're less of a musician because of that.
I'm a loner in this ghost town, nobody fucking home. Now I lose her with this heart torn out. Putting a bullet in my brain, nobody fucking knows my name. I'm killing everybody's face, so depressed I cut my veins. Black nails on myself, gonna fucking kill myself. I hear the voices and they're screaming, no I cannot make them leave me, no one.
The visceral nature of the delivery of these vocals, in addition to just the almost like there's a weird serenity to the minor harmonies behind this, where it's almost like they've accepted that this is what's going to happen, that they are going to slit their wrists, that they are going to put a bullet in their brain. It's a unsettling environment.
Fucking hears me screaming, I'm giving into every reason. No one fucking listens. Why the fuck does no one listen? I'm just screaming out for help. Got me reaching for the noose on my shelf. I guess I'll just burn in hell.
I feel incredibly sad, to be honest. I do feel incredibly sad at the moment for Homicide Doll. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's a real shame. Having these harmonized vocals nice and quiet here, again, I'm trying to avoid using the word nice. It like usually it'll be fine, but nothing about the song is particularly nice, is it? But it's unsettling. There's a tension, a dissonance there, kind of calling out and a scratchiness to it.
One more verse up on the speed, cutting my heart into these three. Seeing everybody sing my lyrics, yeah, they coming deep, deepest of my mind, where nobody has survived. Bring no horror come alive. Every night I fucking cry. How many times must I survive? Morning star was by my side. Hell is on the other side. Heaven will not open wide. God has never left us while forsaking everybody's life. Slip my wrist, I kept the times. Baby, you were fucking right.
To be fair though, like in regards to Homicide Doll's performance as a vocalist, the rapping's really clean. Like the delivery, the flow that's being presented here is fantastic. You know, it's a weird thing for me to say, but he's a really there's an obvious experience and polish to the way he talks and raps, and the words coming through clearly. He repeats his melodies, so he's clearly aware of the importance of having established rhythmic sequences in there as well as melodic themes. He also, with that quieter chorus there in the middle, it appeared that he was also aware of the fact that we need dynamic range and change within a song in order to keep it interesting. You know, there's clear intent here to write really good music, and I think that Homicide Doll is succeeding with this album, you know, despite the struggle he's going through. You know, it's unsettling just how easy it is to listen to this stuff, you know. You know, maybe it's because I've like had issues with anxiety and depression and stuff like that, and I've been in a position where I wanted to take my own life, and hearing someone talk about it, that I just wish I could reach out to help him. And, you know, like I've lost friends to suicide, and it's really viscerally brutal to listen to someone we're talking about this, you know, especially when even after it's been a while since the last time it happened. I wish I could have been there to help them. And I didn't take it as serious as I needed to. And I kind of blame myself for not having done more to prevent it. It's bringing back some memories here, this music. I'm hoping that if Homicide Doll is experiencing this stuff, that if they're able to get some help and that someone does listening to them. Because I genuinely fucking care about this music, and I think if they can get past this, they can release some really incredible material. And I hope that they can really find success in this field. It's brutal, because a lot of musicians that write this kind of music, some of them do take their lives, because it's the music and the story is a representation of what they're actually going through. And it's such a shame. Such a loss, man. We've got I Hope You Fucking Burn in Hell for the Shit You Did, track 3. The last one for today. Is this sampled from something else, or is this Homicide Doll, or?
The fuck you gotta say, bitch? Bloody pavement, looking through the fucking basement. Look at me up on the cross, say you fucking save me. I slay you bitches cause I can. Look at me, I had no dad, so I fuck these bitches but I can. Hit their body and I want my bloody hand up on their fucking ass. I slap them bitches while I'm blowing gas. Getting set where these motherfuckers at. Come on niggas, shoot me back. Come on bitches, I'ma crash. Taking these fucking graves for it, bitch, you be making me hate corn. The fuck I gotta pay more, cock it back, you made me lay it hard. Boy, I'm hanging bitches by the lake, pour bloody lambs, gotta leave it for the rams. Cops I never coming fast, for the attack I send the bitches. When I'm shooting they hear me laugh, ducking and loving it, busting the caps up, weapons on my hands. Got the devil, he attack, got the dragon coming down, and he lets you fucking scat. Fuck 'em all, shoot 'em all. Hanging by the cross, see me dead, nigga, what the fuck you want? Let me sleep until it's done.
This is the most hellish stuff I've listened to in quite a while. It's deeply unsettling, distressing stuff, man. You know, hearing someone scream into a microphone with distortion, 2 different takes of it. Why am I alive? I think they mentioned not having a dad or something like that. Maybe the dad was the person who did the things and he hopes they burn in hell. I don't know, man. You know, the production was like consistent across these 3 tracks, because it is effectively the conclusion, because we're at the end of the album, or the 3 tracks from the album. I'm not really sure if I want, I don't really know if I enjoyed the experience with this album, in the sense that I feel better after listening to it. I can appreciate and respect the work that Homicide Doll put there as a vocalist. I can appreciate the intensity, and I hope you fucking burn in hell for the shit you did. You know, I haven't really talked about that track too much after finishing, but it just sounds like they're blowing they're burning the candle at both ends before they move on, I suppose, or move on to the next life. Or I don't know, there's just some really dark stuff going on in this track. And I just feel this overwhelming sense of dread and sadness after listening to it. This is not an easy listening album. This is an album where you're getting the assumption that this is a genuine representation of, Homicide Doll's experience. This is really kind of disturbing. It's one thing to have the kind of swearing and all that kind of stuff, and don't get me wrong, I don't mind swearing. I'm an adult, right? I don't mind it at all. But you wouldn't want to be showing this to kids. You need to be showing this album to people who have the emotional maturity and psychological stability to not be affected by it. It's really fucking intense. One of the most intense albums I think I've heard throughout my time as a music reviewer. I cannot say this enough. I really hope that if Homicide Doll is experiencing this shit, that he gets help. If he hasn't already. You know, if this is his way of sort of, you know, getting his stuff out in the open is his way of dealing with it, and it's part of his therapy or something like that, then like, oh, you know, and even if it's not, like, I'm not going to tell him what to do with his life, but holy shit, man. This is a rather unique reaction to an album. I don't typically have this. I haven't really had moments like this where I've been like, what was that, you know? What just happened? The vocal performances again were done well though. Like, it was very interesting listening to him tell a story. The different ways of verbalizing that he did with like the growly vocals, the straight rapping, some of the cleaner vocal bits, and the vocal samples that are included from other songs or whatever, I think were great. You know, the songs are structured really well. I think at 2.5 minutes, they were the exact length they needed to be. They communicated the points they needed to in a way that was succinct without any filler. You know, the production, the instrumentalism with like, instrumental performances with like the drums and the bass parts and the synths and other parts, you know, that were cool. I'm not no real complaints about those either. I think that was well handled. They're stylistically cohesive throughout, and the production, recording, mixing, mastering was top tier. Lots of dynamic range, and there with the EQing and stereo padding and all that done really well. There was change within the mix to keep the tracks interesting, and the limiting and compression was done sensationally. It's a professional sounding record. It's just you need to really be in the mood for it to enjoy it and appreciate it. I can appreciate the level of professionalism and the musicality of it. I'd probably need to be in the right sort of mindset to listen to it and not be personally or emotionally affected by it. But I suppose that's the point of music. It's meant to affect you. Music isn't supposed to make you happy or to feel good. Music is an experience. It's raw emotion communicated through an audio medium, and that's just it, you know. But effectively, that is my review of Nyctophilia by Homicide Doll. Hopefully, you know, hopefully you can also appreciate what was done with this music and the amount of effort that was put in. I think it's genuinely well written, well performed, and well produced music. And I really wish Homicide Doll the best of luck in future. If you were into this tunes, go check out Homicide Doll's various social media and Spotify. Stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Catch you in the next review. Spider hands out.